Once again, welcome. Today we have day 3 of week 4. We are at the end of the 4th week. That's a huge accomplishment for a lot of you that joined from day 1. So, good. Today is, I think, probably going to be the highlight of our Zoom bootcamp because, as you all know, the last Italian of this week will be Franco, as literally one of my favorite male dancers of all time. I'm like psyched to hear his lecture and see what he wants to share with all of you today. So that's going to be exciting. And before we get to that, we're going to spend just about 20-25 minutes of workout with Richard. We're going to get our bodies going to prepare and warm ourselves up for this lecture coming soon. And, once again, to go through our regular body conditioning exercises. And can't wait to see you guys a little bit later. As I always say, really, getting stronger bit by bit. I know most of you, especially those on a higher level, you do your own workouts. You're all committed dancers, obviously. So, it's 20 minutes, not that big of a deal. And it's still very good for you to, get an extra strength in your body. So, what time is it? We're even early. So before we start, I'm going to tell you a really cool story. Wow. I don't even know if Nino knows this. I'm not sure. But you know how in the dance world, most of us dancers don't always maybe show the reality all the time. Because just like you guys, we also have problems, in relationships. We split, we come back, we make up, and so in my situation, there was this period with Maurizio where things weren't going very well. And so he didn't want to do it anymore. I was not inspired at some point. And so we were discussing to maybe possibly look for different partners. And now, why I'm telling you this story? Because it's related to our next guest superstar. Since I was probably, I can remember, if I had to pick one person to dance with, before obviously my husband come into my life, it was always Franco. Franco was like, for me, a perfection of a male dancer. And, I say this to Nino. Nino agrees. We actually watch Franco's videos all the time. We both absolutely think he's honestly the best. And I said this to Franco when I was inviting him to do this lecture. I was just like, this would be such an honor to have you, take a bit of your time to do this. And I wasn't sure he'll do it because if you guys know, he's not exactly super active on social media. So I thought maybe the artist that he is, maybe he doesn't even teach online. And he told me, yes, Andra, I can do it. So that was a really happy day. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you because honestly, like I said, there was this, I even texted him. I remember when this was happening, I was like, Franco, do you want to try out with me? Do you want to try and see how this goes? And he wasn't exactly at the same place as me. I know he told me that, he already had family and he had couples. So I lost my chance. Anyway, everything obviously happens for a reason. I'm sure he's very happy where he is now, as I am. And honestly, I just feel super honored that he's agreed to do this for you guys, also for me and Nino. It's very interesting. As you guys know, he's a super huge, legendary dancer who, in my opinion, I still don't know how, but it hurts me to think that people like that didn't get to hold that final professional trophy in the end. But I don't think that matters at the end of the day. As we all know, the best doesn't mean that they are always the winners. And, he was still a world champion. He's still a fantastic person and teacher. He's training all the most successful dancers of the world. And I'm so super sure that he's in a good place. So without me talking anymore, we're just going to quickly show you a little video that we prepared for Mr. Franco FORMICA. Let's take a look.
après des années de travail.
FRANCO,
Vous avez vu la foule qu'il y a, c'est incroyable ce public.
War der Jubel natürlich groß. Standing Ovation. Schauen Sie mal, von allen in der Halle für diesen Vortrag von, ich sag mal, Franco FORMICA, der Applaus von Polen bekommen.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Andra, thank you very much for... I hope you can hear me. Can you all put the thumb up?
Yes, we can. We can hear you, Franco.
Okay, good. Thank you very much, Andra, and thank you very much, everyone involving in preparing this video. Very emotional. Nice memories when I look at it. It's a long time ago, but yeah, when I look at the video, it feels like it was yesterday. Yeah, some very exciting and, of course, some sad moments as well, but it's beautiful to see. Thank you very much for your words. Also, Andra, I appreciate, and it's beautiful, the respect from your side. At the end, I think that's one of the most important things. We are looking and researching in our dancing career and in our dancing life. And there is not just dancing life, but at least... for, let's say, the early age of our time, there is a career, and then afterwards comes other things. Yes, I'm very happy. I have a family. I have 2 kids. I have a wife. Yes, so Andra, mentioned about that. She was asking me and was very honored, and it was a difficult... I have been asked few times from other people, and I straight away said no. And with Andra, I actually had to take time and think about it for actually almost a week to really think about my life. And I realized that I was a family person and not anymore a dancer or a person searching for a career. But now to you. Now it's about your time. I think it's a great thing that has been organized for you dancers from your teachers, a boot camp where you can actually learn from teachers all over the world. I don't know how many people are there, just 3-4 faces. So I say to everyone, hello. Andra gave me freedom in terms of topic, what I am allowed or I should talk about, or so I could choose any topic. And I have my clever thing, but I need sometimes to write down things because I need to have a structure. So, okay, it's not an easy subject. Actually, it's a quite complicated subject. So I will first of all talk a little bit, and then we will go into dancing to discover and research that what I'm trying to give you some advices and ideas to that. The main topic I have, or I choose to talk about, the topic is in time in music. And why I'm choosing that topic. First of all, I think it's 2 completely different things. Yeah, to be in time and to be in music is not the same. Yeah, you can be in time and completely out of music. I don't think you can be in music and completely out of time. That's another thing. I think it will be difficult. And a little bit, I want to tell you a little bit why I choose this topic. Nowadays, I feel a lot that dancing is being, for me, often a bit too over-timed everything. Yeah, they're trying to cut down every single movement in quarters or in eighths, and then it gets that actually movement becomes very, let's say, I don't want to even say artificial, but constructive. So it's not the way, in my opinion, natural flow or movement or harmony looks like. So things, when they're being cut down into pieces and then it's being reproduced in that, then actually it looks like bits and pieces. You're gonna dance and two and three, and then it's gonna look like a robot actually. And I find it goes down to basics and to normal actions and movement from foot to foot, like you do a walk or you do a botafogo or you do a lockstep. But it goes actually also into choreographies, and of course it is something for a lower level, and it's actually something also for a professional level. That nowadays dancing to music is referred to be everything being clearly in time and phrased. Yeah, so the choreography actually has more relation to music than the body itself. Okay, that was a message. And for me, that is it's a different way to look at something. Yeah, I like to look into something. I don't like to look on something. So it means there is a deeper look. I'm searching for details. And I find very often that choreography can be very nice, polished, when things are done at the right time in the music, when it's clearly phrased. You have a clear structure of phrase that is easy to pick. You just you take a Blackpool music, you just write it down, and you have a very nice phrased music. And when you dance Blackpool, it looks like you dance to music, but that's not the case. Your choreography is in music, but when you look at the body movement, when you look at the individual skills from your movement from foot to foot, actually they're not in music. Your body is not at all in music. It's just your feet in music. Because in general, and then when I went into that, there are two things that I would do a little bit to make sure. Because when you time, what do you time? In general, the simple way of timing is your feet. This is the base. So you know the basic timing of rumba, and you time it 2, 3, 4. Then it goes a little bit more complicated, that you are timing your pendulum action or you're timing particular action. But in general, we are referring, when we listen to music, to beats. Yeah, so we hear the beats and we dance the beats, and that's everything. And then it looks like that. It looks like that we clearly dance 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it is a very constructed and very clear in time with your foot, with your feet in the music. But the body itself does not really refer to it. So for me, the two things I would like you to see a little bit more separated is that beats refer to feet in general. Of course, if you can also have some particular actions in body actions. In some body actions, you can put actions, but every action you put related to a particular beat, there is always a gap in between. And that gap is filled with sound. That gap is filled with a whole sound that is within the music. And every sound that is played is different. Yeah, so you can have two different cha-cha-chas, but they have a different sound. Yeah, so the relation of beats are very much defined by what sound is driving that rhythm through. Yeah, so the two things is beat related to feet and sound related to body. And I would like to go, of course, a little bit more to the second part. I want to go to sound. And I was researching for that a little bit because there is a difference between tone and sound. Yeah, I want to explain you a little bit something. So you can play the same tone in different instruments and it sounds completely different. Yeah, you can have 10 people singing the same tone, but you have 10 different voices. Yeah, so sound is something that is very, very unique through, well, simply said, through the abilities, the qualities, the proportions, and also the foundations that you have. But in general, it's something very unique because we all are not the same. We will never move the same and we will never look the same, and we should never do that, because I think each of you has something very unique and special. Yeah, and that in music calls timbre, Timbre, timbre. And timbre, actually what it says that the tone has a particular color and the tone has a particular quality. Yeah, and this is what I mean with you can play the same tone to a different instrument, but it is a completely different sound that comes at the end. That's a little bit for the first I would like you to think about. Now, to step into the dancing, so how do we actually link this to dancing? Yeah. I would like you to imagine the beats. Yeah, as I said, there is always a gap in between. So there is always a moment between, and there is always a moment after the beat. Yeah, so there's always a sound that leads to the beat, and there is always a sound that leads off the beat. So the moment that I'm going to dance, I'm concentrating much more on the sound that is going to prepare me to dance that beat. So for that, I would like to just start with a very simple exercise. Yeah. I want to put some music on. And the thing is, the first thing we need to do is we need to really listen to the music. Yeah. Not counting. Counting is something that is, for me, is mathematics, just numbers. Numbers doesn't have a taste. Yeah. That's why I often say, if you have a rhythm that you dance, don't count, but sing. Because singing is a little bit more surrounding, yeah, more full, more linking things together. But the first thing we need to do, and this is something very simple, you can do it at home, you can do it everywhere, you can do it even just by listening. I would like you to listen to the music, and I would like you to, first of all, try to link in what kind of sound is there? Is it a very deep sound? Is it a very high sound? What is the sound that is playing? Yeah. So now I'm listening to him, and then I'm listening to that sound, and I'm trying with a particular body part. It can be the arm, it can be the spine, it can be the leg, it can be the hip, it can be the center, yeah. It can be even the whole body transforming. But important is that it's not about the form and the technical skills that you do to dance that movement, but much more that you're trying to link in to the flow of that sound that is really giving. I'm not faster, I'm not slower. I'm trying really with my body to feel that sound in one or the other particular body part. Yeah. So we'll put the music on. Where's my telephone? A moment. I hope you can hear the music. 1 second. I have to connect it. Can you hear the music? Sum up. Can you hear the music?
Yes, we can, Franco, we can.
So there's a clear rhythm. Tick, 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 tick that you can hear. But the whole melody is something that is much more full surrounding. Yeah? So what I would like you to try, can you stand up if you want? Try. So if you listen to the music, try to feel the speed and the flow of that music. And what if, when I'm talking, I'm not listening. Listen. There is a certain speed feel it in the Cuban motion. Not just doing action. 2 and 3 and 4. It's much more delicate in that sound. Feel more the legs. He's singing that sound. How long is that sound until it changes? I know this is, when you do that, it's not even a lot. I'm going a bit lower to you. It's not a lot about it's not about a lot of movement and a lot of action. It doesn't mean you cannot increase the intensity of that body movement to create a more full sound. But first of all, I find it is important to first link in to be able to fill it up. Yeah. The thing is, when you go back to just doing body movement, the body movement looks full, but it's not to music. And this is something where I would like you, first of all, become a little bit more minimalistic to be able to connect deeper to that, what the music really tells you. Because once you listen to the sound, there is so much that the sound is giving you. There is in one way the instrument that is playing, is one way the voice of the singer that is saying something. So you're much more linked to the mood, the sensation, and the feel that the music is giving, rather than just simply doing 2 and 3 and 4. And 2 and 3, that has no sensation, that has no taste, that has no feel. And the good thing about the music is the music already gives you a pre-decided sound and feel. Now you link to that in. First, you need to learn to be in music to be able to communicate something else to music about yourself. Yeah. But often I feel, there's something in my laptop, but often I feel that dancers are not listening to music, they're just counting. Yeah, I would like just for a moment jump into another dance to make you understand there's also another dance. Yeah, like slowly, just shortly jump into samba to make you a little bit to understand that what I'm talking about has nothing to do that is specific for rumba or for cha-cha. I hear this everywhere. I never, when I listen to music, I never listen music by numbers. For me, that doesn't exist. Yeah, I can hear and I can feel the sound of that 2. I can feel the sound of that 3. There's a very particular relation that beats have together through sound. Yeah, 2, 3, 4 has no relation. But if I go has a completely different relation. I'm not a singer, yeah, but I hear exactly that flow and relation that goes from one to another. Yeah, I will put now music, samba music. Yeah, and I would like you, the same thing. I would like you to listen to not just the beat that it goes boom, boom, you do 1, 2, 1, 2. Would like much more to that you listen the sound that leads to that beat and off that beat, to that beat and off that beat. There is a constant continuation, circulation of a sound. Yeah, I call it sound loop. Nah, that's the music. No, this is cha-cha-cha. Stand up, you try this. Now you hear that clear beat that hits the floor. Now that beat that hits the floor has a rebound of that sound. Yeah? So what I feel a lot, that sound rises into my body. How long is the sound until it leads to the beat? Okay. So now, if I would change the rhythm, the flow of that sound loop is still the same. You still have this boom da dum dum dim dum bam boom ma boom ma boom bam. I always go back to that same loop of that sound. That doesn't change. Yeah. If I would dance the beat, I just show you one little moment, something. When I lose the loop, means I lose my body in music and I just dance the beat. Yeah? You hear clear? That's the main thing you hear a lot. Tum, 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 tum. So, one moment. When you see my feet. You hear? And I do. Ta, 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 ta. Ta 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 o ti ta ta I ya I ta ta I. But now my body still continues and it doesn't really lose. Music, whatever I do, my body never loses that sound from the moment that I hit the beat. The sound that rises through the whole body until it drops to the next beat. And because I'm in that sound flow, I can decide the pace of it. I can do it faster, I can do it slower, but I never lose the tempo that the music is giving me. When I dance feet, my body is not prepared. My body is not moving. My body is not moving. It's very difficult to continue and to be in time. Yeah. So that continuation within that music is something that is essential that you feel that is giving me constantly the tempo and the sound that the music really has. Yeah, I will put one more time the music, and I would like you to try this just by yourself. Listen to the music, feel that sound loop that continues and leads to the beat, and the sound continues through the body and leads to the beat. The sound continues to the body and leads to the beat. Yeah. Let's try again. Want to try? Now I need to drink something. So the sound goes leg, center, spine. Doesn't stop. It's a long Okay. Of course now, let me go a little back. Of course now comes the main thing connected to this. The sound of your body decides what kind of quality actually comes out. So you mean the coordination of your body parts decide what kind of differences in sound you have. So you have to decide where is the intensity and how things connect together, that the sound goes from the legs, through the pelvis, through your lower spine, into the upper spine. That you have a constant coordinational sound through the body. When there is a gap of coordination, the sound is stuck in. Yeah, that's why technique is so important. Technique is saying nothing else, that you learn how to coordinate body parts together, that your movement becomes more efficient. Technique is not about dancing. It's not the dancing, the technique. The technique is actually that what allows you to control the body to be able to communicate with your body to that music that is playing. If I'm not good in technique, means there is many gaps. If there is many gaps, means there is many gaps of music. Yeah. So in general, when we go into technical things, yeah, just going a little bit, giving you some ideas or some advices about that. Yeah. When we go to foundation of technique, there are three main points in technique that you have to consider and to understand. Yeah, and this I realized actually in the last few years I'm just teaching. I always face the same problems with my students. Yeah, and usually the problems they have, as I said, is three things. Usually the problems they have, the problem starts with something about weight transport. So the weight transport is not perfectly in time and perfectly coordinated to music. Yeah, so weight transport is the foundation of everything. If we stop moving, there is no sound that goes, yeah, if I dance, chiquita, chiqui. There is every time a gap, and that weight transport that I'm stopping always has a connection problem with my partner, because my partner wants always to feel the continuation of that sound, the continuation of that music, until I decided now I'm going to hit the next one. So weight transport is something that is essential, the first and most important thing that we need in dancing. Yeah, and I would like to give you some advices about that. Yeah, in a simple way, when we talk about weight transport, we need to we need to respect three important points when we talk about weight transport. Yeah, and that's a little bit the relation of your feet to your head. Yeah, there's a certain balance line that has to be clear over the foot and over the next foot. Yeah, and in general, for me, there is three major points that are important for that. Number one, of course, is the foot, that I'm catching the foot. Number two is my sit bone. I hope everyone knows what is a sit bone. Sit bone is underneath your pelvis. It's two bones where you're sitting, right and left. Yeah, this sit bone is very inside of your pelvis. It's not outside. This is your hip. This is your pelvis bone. Yeah, and underneath your pelvis bone, there is your sit bone. Yeah, you usually sit on that. That sit bone has to be clearly over the foot. And the other thing is your neckline. So what is important when I'm striking the foot is not now my hip and my neck are moving separately. I have to make sure that sit bone related to the left foot and neck related to the left foot, sit bone related to the right foot and neck related to the right foot are moving equally to move over the foot, that I feel clear there is always a relation between neck, sit bone and foot. Yeah? Just want to give you a little bit mistake. If I do the step, it starts already when I'm leaving the foot, that you see sit bone goes away to neck. Now this is already disturbed. So if I start to move, my hip is never going to be on time over the foot. Yeah. So the moment that I'm going to move, I have to make sure that sit bone and neck, yeah, when I'm shifting from my foot, these two things are shifting together. And when I strike the foot, yeah, this is shifting my right side, my left side, and this is shifting my right side, so that I feel I move equally to arrive exactly over that foot. I feel clearly aligned over that foot. Yeah, if I have a nice hip that is going to be here, as soon as I leave the foot, I'm going to fall. Yeah, I give you a very simple exercise. Yeah, because sometimes you don't need many difficult exercises. Yeah, I give you a very simple exercise that is actually very simple. That you shift, you arrive. Yeah, and what is important on that is that your hip does transport in the timing of my spine going over the foot. So it's not late and it's not early. Yeah, the timing of body parts is something that takes the most time to really to understand and to learn and to improve. Yeah, but there's two things you're going to learn from that. It's the shifting in one piece and it's the arriving on one piece. Yeah, so when I'm shifting, I'm arriving over that step. Yeah. Now the exercise is very simple. You're gonna do basic rumba. Usually you do 2 and a 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4, 1. But we're gonna do this a little bit different because I want you to really arrive over the foot. I don't want just to strike the foot and then do an action. Strike the foot and then do an action. Yeah. I want that you actually dance the step over 2 beats. So you dance 4. And as you see, I want all the work is coming from my standing leg that I'm getting. I'm working very strong inside of that leg. So there is an inner work to transport my weight. So it's not outside transporting, it's inside transporting from my leg to arrive over the foot. Yeah? So you're dancing 4, 1, you collect, you dance 2, 3, you go 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. There is a lot of muscular work that happens inside of that. And this muscular work you need because it's this side muscle of your leg is pushing constantly. I put my trouser up. This side muscle is pushing underneath your bum, your sit bone exactly at the right place. If I'm sitting, I'm already falling. Yeah. So there's a lot of muscular work. Yeah. Can we try that? Are you ready? Yeah. So we start with 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Try to really make sure that you always feel your sit bone is from your leg activated. Yeah. Your center is in, and you feel a clear relation from neck to sit bone to foot. Yeah. So from here, and we start. I count 2, 3, and we go 4. And 2, 3, and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2. So, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3. Yeah? You will realize the idea is not to jump. So I'm not going to jump on the foot. As soon as I strike the foot, I try a little bit to show you from the back. As soon as I strike the foot, I'm working myself through my muscles over that foot. There is a lot of muscular work. So as soon as my feet hit the beat, my leg transports that sound through over the foot. Yeah? We try that on music. Yeah? One, 3, 4. So. Okay. I usually do this also a little bit slower, that I actually take 4 beats. Yeah? Because with the time, what you realize, one of the most difficult thing, and I'm sure most of you that already dance for a longer time, you always struggle with your partner that things are not in time, things are not connected, things don't work really together. And the difficult thing that our dancing is based on dancing together. And it's not helping if we know the timing. This is just, I don't want to say it's not important, but knowing the timing just makes it for the partners to one another to actually ignore each other and just dancing the timing. I would like you more to feel and sense the speed of that weight, the speed of the continuation, to be able to sense that weight arriving over the foot. So the base of dancing together is timing each other's weight transport from foot to foot, not just doing from here to, yeah, and then and da, yeah, but really to feel 4. I'm timing that sound that goes into that one that my partner sends when it's the moment to leave, yeah. And this is very much referred to that continuation of that sound after I dance the beat, or the sound that continues after I leave the foot, not before I catch the beat. Yeah. So number 1, as I said, is weight transport. And number 2, and this comes also when you did the exercise, you realize I always want you to be able to be over your foot. This is something very important. If you're falling from foot to foot, it's very difficult to control and time music. Yeah, and it's difficult to time your feet, but it's difficult actually to give sound to your body because you have no control. Yeah, so the number 2 that is very important, that we need to learn to time the moment we are over the foot, means we need to time our balance. Yeah, so in the moment that I'm getting over the step, I'm feeling my alignment over the foot, and now I'm timing that moment over the foot before I'm leaving. Yeah. For that, I would like to give you a little choreography. Yeah, it's very simple. Yeah, we don't have a lot of time, but I still would like to do this. Yeah, it's a normal basic rumba. We dance from here a check on 2, 2, and a 3 and 4. 1, 2, extend 3 and dance and 4. And 4. Let me one more time. I don't see myself. And 2 and a 3 and 4. 1, 2, extend 3 and dance and 4. 1 and now we dance 2 cucaracha. Yeah, I'll dance it forward one more time. And check and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, extend 3 and 4. 1, dance 1 cucaracha to the left. 2 and 3 syncopated into a delay. 2, 3 and 4. 1 and yeah, one more time. And 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 cucaracha diagonal. 2 and 3 into forward walk turning. 1 backward walk. 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 rumba walks. 2, 3, 4 landing in a check from the beginning. I'm rushing a little bit, but let's try this one more time. We start with check and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah, arrive on 4. 4 in a check. 4 and we extend it into the 2. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And 2 and 3 and 4. And 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah? Now listen. This piece of choreography is not about the steps. When you do that, try to feel that there is never a stop. Because the thing is, sound comes from body movement, and particular, really from a fundamental point of view, not from actions, but from transport, as I said. So you need always to feel that your weight, transport, is never stopping. So even if I'm stopping on 4 and 2 and 3, I need to time that. But the sound, at the moment when I hit the beat, still continues through my spine to decide when I'm changing that to the next beat that I'm going to dance. Yeah? I'm talking very fundamental. Of course, the more fine coordinated and the more details you put in about some moments in your hip with the center, with the rib, with the upper spine, that gives a much more color into what you do. Of course, these things have to be related. It's not that I'm just dancing like bananas. I'm going crazy and I dance and 2 and 3 and 4. That has no taste. Yeah. But at the moment, if I dance this and I dance 4, the foundation does not stop. I'm not leaving the point that I'm still feel the sound continuing in my weight transport. I can intensivate it, for example, through my hip, that I dance here much more that hip into that sound before I dance it, or I intensivate it much more through my spine into my hip. So I decide through body parts where the sound becomes more full or more loud and more quiet. Yeah. But if you don't manage first to feel the fluidity of your transport, it's very difficult to put articulations and taste into that. Because at the end, if there is no flow, it's very difficult to decide when to do what in relation to each other. Because you will understand one thing, that one of the most difficult things in your dancing career, what you have to learn is to create taste. And taste is something, of course, you can say it's not my taste, yeah? But I think if you go to a great restaurant, the relation of recipes they put, the relation of ingredients they put, how much of what when, that makes the difference. So, and to decide how much you need of what in which moment to create the effect of a timeless moment, this is one of the most difficult things. Yeah, and in my opinion, it doesn't start with more action. It starts with less. It starts with feeling the time that is never stopping, and it's expanding until you decide that something else is coming. Yeah, can we try this on music? Yeah. Two.
Grande sorpresa la que me has dado. Yo necesitaba un amor y me has enamorado. Que había soñado. Yo soy todo de ti.
Okay. Great.
En silencio.
You know, I don't know how it is about you. For me, it's like I'm treating the music with a huge respect. It's like I'm kind of caressing the music with my body when the music is playing. I'm not just fixed about, okay, that's the beat that I have to dance. Every time I dance a particular beat, it's always very specific in that particular moment when I dance it. Because the relation to the other beat is changing. The moment in the music is changing when I'm dancing, the different song. So each moment I'm dancing is something very unique. I cannot reproduce something. Of course, now somebody would come and would say, yeah, well, from a competitive point of view, that is a little bit difficult. You know, yeah, I never was a competitor, so I think I was more searching for the art of dancing and the depths of music in my body. And it's an experience that you can't, nothing else is giving you more than that when you dance. That you create the depth and you feel 100% being in that moment and experiencing actually what happens, not just doing that. Yeah. So this technique of understanding how to time your weight, how to time the moment on your foot is actually to be able in real time to respond and react to the actual music playing. That's why technique is so important. If you're not able to time and to control that movement, then it's very difficult to be able to say something to the music or embody the music. Yeah. Let's try one more time. Come on. Yeah.
Apa?
Two, three, up. Okay. So, are you
That was
clapping?
a clap for you, Franco.
I thought like, where is this coming from? Let me sit down. Come on, I'm sitting a bit closer to you.
You know, Franco, you can flip through the pages if you want to see some of the people that are joining here today. I'm sure you'll see some of your students, and if you want. You don't
I'm
have to.
sweating. You know, I'm 6 weeks. I didn't do nothing really. So this quarantine actually is. And yeah, 2 days ago I went to the gym because my student said, well, not a gym because it's closed, but they have a particular gym, and they killed me. So the last 2 days I had everywhere pain in my body.
Well, we can't tell at all. That was fantastic.
Let me check. Yes. I hope I could make you a little bit understand that, of course, it starts always with small things. It is not coming that you... I want everyone, of course, everyone wants to be straight away, wants to have the great thing, performance, the full package and the great outcome. But actually, it's the small things that is letting develop you as a unique dancer. Because I think all of you have something very unique in the way how you move. If you trust and sense the things you learn. It's not about doing the things you learn. It's about sensing the things you learn and giving them a meaning related to music. Because everything you do has to have a relation to music. If you do something that doesn't make to music, I say to my student, flush it down the toilet. Yeah? Because things that don't make to the music are not supposed to be on that moment on the floor. Yeah, and this means everything, every gesture, every moment that you dance, the way you turn your head, the way you dance your hip, the way you hold the partner, the way you stop the partner. There is always that sense that the music speaks through the movement, that the sound and this sound color and sound quality of your body refers to that music that is playing. That is very difficult, but it starts with the small things. Yeah, that's why I wanted to give you this, in a way, quite a very simple exercise. But if you do this proper and you really sense the body and feel the continuation, you get so much deeper related to that music. Yeah? You have any questions?
I think everybody's generally just shocked with the amount of information that you provided. So I don't think we need to get into questions. I think normally after this session, we'd go into some other subject, and actually I'm just going to stop it right here, because if I do anything else, I feel like I'm almost disrespecting this beautiful information that you just shared with everyone. It needs to sink in to everybody, I believe.
All right. Okay, then I hope I could give you something on your way, something to think about, something to discover. And thank you very much, Andra, for inviting me and for giving me the opportunity to share my passion. And I wish you all the best. Stay healthy, be focused, stay passionate.
Thank you very much, Franco.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, Franco.
Oh, now I see you.
How are you?
I'm fine. All good.
Good. So it's amazing to hear that beautiful information for you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Just before we let you go, I just wanted to ask from the master that you are, if you were still competing and you were going through this difficult time of quarantine and things that are happening in the world, how would you see this situation as a competing dancer?
You know, I was never a person that I never liked much to be around. So there were some obligations you have to have, like shows and competitions, but I was never the guy doing a lot of, I tried always to not dance all of them, because I'm a person, I like to be home and to spend my time on the floor and to discover things. Yeah. So I'm lucky I have my own studio. When I was competing, I didn't have that. But I would actually give you the advice to discover the informations that you learn. Yeah, discover doesn't mean re-question. Yeah, I never re-question my teachers. I just try to understand it and to feel and to understand the meaning of it. The only what I would do as a dancer, honestly, I would research. I have the time. Probably, I don't know when you're going to have the next competition. So try really to dig deeper into the information you have. There's so much information of things to learn about music, about technique, about actions, about leading, about frame, about volume, whatever. And try to dig in and try to find out what it really means for you, what maybe the teacher really means. Because I can assure you one thing, the teacher knows what he talks about. And it takes a while until you understand what he talks about. You hear it, you think you understand, but I understood things when I started to talk about this. When I started to teach, then I understood how many things I actually didn't really understand. And then I had to dig in and had to link bridges that things make sense. And this is the perfect time, because this time, how it is right now, you will never have. The pressure of having in 2 weeks competitions, or in 1 month is coming Blackpool, and you have all these things. It's in one way, it's a very, very difficult time, but I hope one lifetime situation that you will have, that you have time and everyone has the same. Because usually, let's say, if you get injured, the people you're competing with, they're still practicing and you cannot. But in this situation, you're all the same. So you don't have the stress of competing. And it's the greatest time to find out who you are and who you want to be as a dancer and what all really means to you. Because at the end, it's not about that you do what your teacher is telling you, but people really want to know what is your belief. And that makes that gives product depth. And when the product has a depth, then you really become a trademark.
For sure. Thank you so much, Franco.
Thank you so much.
Just promise me, you saved me one samba. We need to dance one samba together. I just want to sense it. One time, even if it's a social, doesn't matter.
No problem. I just hope that I can still dance. Because I'm also getting older, so things are not anymore that easy.
I'm sure you can.
All right. Thank you very much, Andra.
Thanks to you, Franco. I hope we meet again soon, and good luck to you with everything, and see you around. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ciao, ciao. Kiss to everybody. Ciao.
Thank you. So yes, guys, as I said, it's really, I don't want to do anything with you. To be honest, I want all of us to actually go into our little place where we can review everything we've just heard and witnessed, and try to, have a thought process and try to really, hopefully, not only get inspired, but try to put this information into action and hopefully apply it. Even if you got 1% or 2% of everything you've heard, that's already big. So I think we should finish over here and really just appreciate that in another positive way, this situation in the world gives us a chance to actually connect to people that I know in this bootcamp, many of you don't hear from people like Franco very often. And so here we have some chances. And I hope that, you guys are more motivated, more inspired, and you still, like we talked about the last time, and I think Franco just confirmed it to you guys, that we need to see this as a moment of growth. We need to really go deeper into our thoughts, into our souls, into our spirit, and we need to not be afraid and to take the risk to hopefully find something that is meant for us to have. Just we might not always had the time or opportunity, and I think now is the best time. And like I said last time, if you didn't start yet, you still got time, because we're not going to return to that competitions anytime soon. So we all in the same situation. We have time in our hands. Let's use it wisely. Yes? Now, before we finish, I just remind you all, next week we have another 2 absolute amazing legendary dancers. As you know, Dimitri Timokhin also we don't hear often enough, and he's one of the greatest male dancers in the world, and so that's going to be super excited. We're going to see him next week. He's got something planned for you guys, as well as Karina Smirnov, of course, as all of you know, a very special lady with super knowledge and information. And, of course, me, I sound probably so boring after all these superstars. I don't know if you want to hear from me anymore, but I'll try as well to prepare something useful for you next week. And so we meet again, same time, 1 p.m. Toronto time, 7 p.m. Italian time, European time. And so I can't wait to see you guys. We have a beautiful Sunday ahead of us. Let's put our dance shoes on and let's continue growing, because as we always say, when we do come back, we need to come back stronger so we can kill it and hopefully get to places that we've always dreamed to be. So let's unmute everybody. I'm sure some people... Screenshot of all those beautiful compliments that you wrote to Franco. I'm sure he will be very happy. Thank you.
Andra, thank you for this opportunity.
Thanks to you guys. Stay safe. We love you all. You know that. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Andra. Thank you so much.
Bye.
So many beautiful comments. I'm sure you will love to read all of them. So, another amazing week, guys. Thanks as always. You know what, I actually thank you guys, those of you that are still here. I thank you actually for the love of dance. That actually, as you know, majority of the people are now taking vacations, going to the beach, and using this time to go through every show on Netflix. And for those of you, again, who take this commitment to stick to a program and learn and find something, cheers to you. I really respect that. These are the type of people that do get that final destination that, you know, we all dream about. So I'm sure that this situation will make definitely you stronger if you continue to strive for beautiful knowledge, information, and, you know, staying in the game and hopefully finding something cool to come back with. I honestly can't wait to be back. Like, I don't really miss the whole traveling part. I don't think I'm gonna like, oh my God, I can't wait to pack my suitcase. No, that part I'm absolutely enjoying. But I miss the thrill of actual competition when we're dancing those semis or those finals and connecting to the audience, you know, the best bits. I miss it so much. And I'm already envisioning myself, you know, in our couple coming out. Let's say Blackpool would be maybe first competition and really sensing that floor again. And actually the most important for me in that moment would be to see for myself if I'm able to offer the people a brand new, updated version of myself. And so that's what I wish to all of you guys. So let's leave it at that. Cheers to all of you guys. Have a beautiful, blessed Sunday and see you on Monday. Ciao.